Welcome to the Job with John program. It's October 23rd. You're watching live on YouTube, or maybe you're listening on 94.9 FM, or maybe you're watching later on YouTube streaming or ActonTV local cable. Either way, thanks for joining us. It's nice to see you again this week. This is a program that we've been doing for 6 or 7 months now on an almost weekly basis. Job with John is an interesting name for a program. The reason we call it that is because I would go to the senior center every month and have coffee with seniors and talk about issues that are going on in town and get questions and have a great conversation. Since the pandemic, we weren't able to do that anymore. Now we do it virtually. We do get some questions in advance. If you have any for me or for our guests that you'll hear from today, please email my office, manager@actonma.gov, or call in. We'll try to get you live on the air, 978-929-6611, or you can chat with us in the YouTube things. You know how to do that. Either way, it's a great opportunity for us to connect with the public on a weekly basis and give some updates. This week, it's all about early voting. If you've driven by Town Hall, you may have seen a line out the back, and that's because we're having people do early voting in Town Hall. Due to COVID restrictions, we're only allowing 2 people in the building at a time. So we appreciate everyone's patience, as it's taking longer than it normally would in not a pandemic situation. But overall, I walk and visit people online, and people are very patient. They understand that voting early is a good thing to do, and they don't mind waiting a little bit. So people have been very, very appreciative of the opportunity. We've done it we started last Saturday, and we're doing it again this weekend. You can do it 9 to 1 tomorrow, 9 to 1 on Sunday. Then we do it all next week, 8:30 to 5. As of right now, we've had 1,059 people vote in person through last night, which is great. There are 16,633 registered voters as of today in Acton, and we've received 6,700 mail-in ballots already. So there's been almost 8,000 people have already voted in this election. So we're almost at the 50% mark. And it's only October 23rd. So a lot of voting is happening in Acton. We're still gearing up for a busy day on November 3rd at the junior high, but we still have a week's worth of early voting. So if you want to go early, please do. But our town clerk, Eva, is doing an amazing job. It's a difficult job every year, but this year it's that much more difficult, and we appreciate her efforts. Other exciting things that we've done in this past week, we had on Friday of last week, we had a ground ribbon cutting for the new bathroom facility for a Miracle Field at Narrow Park, which is an exciting new amenity for that facility. Then on Monday of this week, we had a groundbreaking ceremony at the new North Acton Fire Station project on Harris Street. We just broke ground. It's a 14-month project, and we had a pretty good crowd, socially distanced out there on Monday, wearing masks, and we had some speakers. Our state representatives and our state senator were there. Some Board of Selectmen members spoke. The chief spoke. The former Chief Craig was there, and it was a nice event. We all threw ceremoniously some dirt to get the project started. You can watch your updates on that site. We're going to post them monthly to actonma.gov/firestation. One interesting thing I wanted to mention is that we're going to put a time capsule in that building. In old buildings, municipal buildings, a lot of times they would put a cornerstone in the building and then have a time capsule on the cornerstone. And that's something that we're doing with this building. So if you have ideas on what to put in it, you have 14 months to tell me. So please email my office, manager@actonma.gov. We'll be working with the fire department and historical society and the selectmen on some ideas. The time capsule is only a little bit, it's twice the size of this probably. So it has to be papers and little knickknacks, but I think we can put some good stuff in there that people will recognize 100 years from now. So that's what's going on with the fire station. From a public health standpoint, if you're watching the news, you'll see that cases across the state are increasing of COVID-19. We're currently have 8 cases today, which is the highest we've been in a few months. So we're a little bit concerned about the numbers increasing. The governor's office last night actually issued order closing all hockey rinks for 2 weeks, which is interesting. I think there's been the state, from my understanding, is concerned about the number of incidences related to hockey that of COVID-19. So they shut it down for 2 weeks, and there'll be other things that we may be seeing changing in the next few weeks. So be vigilant, wear your masks, do all the things that we've been telling you to do for a while. It's very important. Keep your windows open if you can. Heather York, our public health nurse, is very, very busy today. She has been busy for 6 or 7 months, but she's particularly busy today and is not able to join us. I know a lot of people watch the show just to hear from her, so I apologize. But we will give you an update as soon as we can from her, hopefully next week. But we do have some all-star guests to talk about some of the things happening in town. And as we always do, we'll go to Sharon Mercurio, the Council on Aging Director. Sharon and her team have been doing a lot over the last 6 months to keep our seniors engaged, and we're looking forward to hearing what's happening this week. Sharon, what's up?
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me today. Thanks, Mike, our guest today. This past week, we did another drive-through event, which was wonderful. We had chicken parm. The police were wonderful, helping us direct traffic. We also had Zane, the therapy dog, that was visiting folks. So thank you for that. And people got a special treat in their bags this week. Acton Family Network has done some artwork and cards for the seniors. So those were placed in people's bags too. I think anything we can do to help each other through these difficult times, just a little ray of sunshine or kind thought goes a long way. So thank you, Acton Police and Acton Family Network. Just a reminder, on Wednesday at 1:00, we have a program on Medicare. It's really complicated. And if you're new to Medicare, please don't feel overwhelmed. You're not alone. Sign up for the program at 1:00 with the COA, and hopefully that will answer a lot of your questions about the different A, B, C, D, and all the different plans and that sort of thing. Also a reminder that we have an Eagle Scout, Siddharth Krishna, that is working very closely with the Safe Liaison Officer, Brent Carter from the Acton Fire Department. So if you'd like to talk to one of the scouts and Troop 32, they'll review some fire safety with you, ask you some questions about your smoke and fire detectors. And if they feel that they need to pass on the information to the fire department to look into further, they'll do that for you. So nice to talk to some different folks. You can sign up through the Senior Center, 978-929-6652. And also a reminder from the Registry of Motor Vehicles, they have senior days on Wednesdays at certain sites. So only seniors can go in on Wednesdays to these particular sites just to help keep you a little safer during these times. If you weren't aware, anybody 75 or older needs to renew their license in person. So you can either go to the registry, call ahead to make an appointment at 857-368-8005. Or you can, if you're a member of AAA, you could go in person to AAA and get your license renewed. So again, senior hours on Wednesdays at specific sites through the end of December. So I think that's it for me right now, John. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for the information. I did just get a note from Heather, who said that they are running the senior flu clinic again today, and there are still a few spots available if you wanted to call or register for that. Sharon, do you know how to do that? How to register?
From Acton Nursing's website.
Acton, so you go to Acton Nursing website and you can sign up today, and you can head over there and get a flu shot if you register in time. So check that out. Also wanted to mention that Acton Restaurant Week is coming up. We did it last year and it was successful. We're doing it again this year, starting the 25th, which is I think Sunday. And there'll be a handful of local establishments that are putting out specials for this week. You can, of course, take them for takeout if you're not comfortable dining in. They do have dining outside options. The restaurants that are signed up as of today are True West, Rapscallion, El Huipil, Philos, Le Lyonnaise, and Red Raven. So support those businesses if you can next week, and any others, any other time you can. Our next guest is our reigning Public Safety Employee of the Year from 2018. He's one of, he used to be called Officer Mike, and now we call him Detective Eracleo. This is Mike Eracleo, our Family Services Detective. Mike, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sharon, for having me. So the police, interesting times for us as well, and we're going to continue to provide 24/7 support here. Meeting with the seniors at any chance we can. We do have in the police, as far as on our world, some new updates. You know, we've hired a new dispatcher here with the police station. We have a new sergeant, Sergeant Dave Joachim, so he's just come up in the ranks, so that you'll see him out and about running new shifts, as well as Sergeant Chris Hodges. So some new personnel changes here at the police station, but as far as the representation for the seniors or, you know, the elder residents here in town, it's still me, and I'm still very proud to be in that position. Some other things that are happening. You may have seen Zane already, our new therapy dog. So Detective John Stackhouse, he's his handler, and they work together daily, and he goes home with John, and hopefully we can bring him around. I know that John Stackhouse has gone to some assisted living facilities. We'll do drive-bys, and he may wave in, or at least go by the windows. Obviously, with the restrictions going on, we can't go inside necessarily, but we will do what we can to try to, you know, bring a smile to everyone's face. The dog's beautiful, and you know, I steal him from John every chance I can, so I can pat him. Other things, we do have naturally Halloween coming up next Saturday, and from 6 to 8, and we'll be out there in droves as we usually are, trying to keep everyone safe. Fortunately, some of you guys are familiar with Detective Tyler Russell and Luke Penny, and they created a video which will be presented at the end of this. People walking in, sorry. Will be presented at the end of this video segment, and you get to see it. You know, hopefully it's a big hit out there. They put some good work in. So look forward to that. It's on ActonTV's YouTube page as well, and on the Town of Acton Police Facebook page. That's another page I hope people can continue to follow, as you'll get updates about what we have going on. In the fraud department, which is usually the biggest issue, as far as what we're doing connecting with residents, they're daily. They are daily. We get reports several times a day at this point about frauds coming in, and they're typically the same kind of frauds. Most of it will be identity theft. And we just ask that each resident here in town, if you get a phone call and you're not comfortable with it, go to the website of the company that you believe call you and get their real phone number. Oftentimes they'll say, call us back, and they'll give you the number they want you to call them back to. And I know not everyone's tech savvy or understanding that some of these phone calls originate in other countries. They can put on the caller ID to make it look like, say, Eversource or Verizon, and that'll show up on your caller ID. It doesn't mean it's authentic. So just regardless of the circumstance, either call me at 978-929-7543 or the station and ask for Detective Mike. And we'll do our best to verify that they were the proper channel reaching out to you. But if you don't know a bill and someone calls you, or someone offers you to win a lottery ticket that you never purchased or put in for, then naturally we believe that to be a scam. And I think people are doing a wonderful job calling me too, because I do get several calls a week asking, hey, does this sound legitimate or not? So I appreciate that. A change in the police world is, we used to have the drug drop-off box here in our police station. We no longer have that, but you can go to CVS at any time. If you have extra medication, things in the house you want to get rid of, CVS is still collecting those in their center. But we no longer offer that service in our lobby here at the station. So I think that's important. Anything else going on?
So Detective, you say one of the scams that people say is, can you go get, or they'll pretend to be a friend or a relative. They say, I've come in hard times. I need you to get me some gift cards to Walmart. That's a common one, right?
Yeah, a common one is, can you go down to CVS and get us a green card, or Walmart and get us a green dot card. And basically you scratch off the numbers on that card after you upload a certain amount of money on it. And once they have that information, the money's basically theirs. And it's nearly impossible for us to track. I mean, if it's
basically anyone that calls you and asks you to buy a gift card, stop right there.
Yeah, that's going to be
a reason for anyone to buy anybody else a gift card.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any gift card payments through any company that you're working with, I'm going to say it's a scam. I'm confident enough to say it's a scam. If anyone calls you and says, please upload this money. I've been called and was told I was going to be subject to arrest if I didn't get a gift card, which I thought was cute. But I mean, they're calling everyone and every phone number out there. So we're all being targeted. They're professionals. This is what they do for a living. They wake up and their 8-hour shift is, how many identities can I steal today? So
Right. They try 10,000 people. If they get 10, then they made their day. So
yeah.
we got to be vigilant.
Absolutely. And please, continue to call and continue to call. And I know, it's getting darker later on, earlier now, 6 o'clock, it's getting dark. So we still welcome suspicious activity. I've always said that to our, our seniors in town that, now I know more people are home than ever, but they were always kind of our eyes and ears. They were typically home more often than the rest of the towns that are commuters every day to work. And we still welcome any suspicious activity you have, any canvassing of the area. You need a permit to solicit in town. So if someone knocks on your door, feel free to give us a call and we'll make sure that their credentials are credible.
Thank you, Detective. Good information, always a good resource for our seniors and for everyone else. So good to hear from you this morning. You mentioned Zane, the new dog. Zane is actually on social media. So those of you that are on social media, you can find Zane. I think he's on Facebook and Instagram. So check that out. There'll be some fun content from Zane and his travels throughout the community. I wanted to mention to the public out there that we're doing a project. The property we bought next to the train station in South Acton, that used to be owned by Gordon Richards. He sold it to the town last year. That's currently being used for parking, but we're looking at new ways to use that, or I guess additional ways to use that besides parking. And so we're doing a study right now. And as part of that study, we're having a public forum. I believe it's on November 5th. It's on our website. We're also doing a survey. If you can do an online survey, it's right on our website. You can click through and we're asking you, it takes about 5 minutes. We're asking you questions about the train station and parking and how often you use it. And even if you don't use it very often, you're still welcome to sign it up to do the survey, because all the data that we get is going to be very helpful as we make decisions going forward. People have said, we want bathrooms there, we want a coffee shop, we want just take all the buildings down and make more parking. We've heard a lot of ideas, but we want to try to get them all together before we make work with the Board of Selectmen and others on making decisions. So Detective Mike mentioned the world premiere of the Halloween safety video that will be airing immediately following Java with John. So stay tuned. We're wrapping up in about 1 minute, but I also wanted to call your attention to 2 other programs that we've aired recently. One is the ribbon cutting from Nara Park, which is on ActonTV's channel, and also the groundbreaking ceremony from the fire station. ActonTV put together a nice video for both of those ceremonies, so you can watch those. They're both about 20 minutes long. Great viewing. So check them out, and hope everyone has a great weekend. And thank you all for listening and watching, and thank you, Sharon and Detective Mike, and thank you, Justin and Mark, for your help. Take care, everybody.
Okay, before we get started, myself and Detective Russell, on behalf of the Acton Police Department, just want to mention a thank you to all the kids out there. This has been a tough time and you've been doing great, and do the same things you've been doing, and we're just going to apply them to Halloween this year. Thank you. Welcome to this year's 2020 Halloween Safety Tips. My name is Detective Penny, and this is...
I'm Detective Tyler Russell.
Before we begin this year's trick-or-treating, it's going to be a little different than in years past. The Board of Health decided that it would be beneficial to allow traditional trick-or-treating as long as safety protocols are followed, and we'll be looking for our residents to help reinforce these guidelines. We believe that trick-or-treating during COVID-19 should be a decision left to our residents. The board requests that everyone be respectful of those who decide not to participate, and the following measures are in place for the safety of those who want to participate. It goes without saying, face coverings are required for all, including residents both receiving and distributing treats. Social distancing of at least 6 feet is required at all times for all, unless you live in the same household. If there are people already at the door, wait 6 feet apart until it's your turn. It's going to take some patience this year. Prior to passing out treats, please wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. Repeat hand washing as necessary throughout the night. Consider the use of tongs or gloves when passing out treats. We don't recommend to leave out a communal bowl for trick-or-treaters to grab themselves. You might want to consider creative ways to deliver the treat to participants to allow for social distancing. You want to avoid touching your face and wash your hands or use hand sanitizer periodically throughout the night. Place your treats in a bowl and let them sit overnight, or consider individually wrapping them for easy contactless grab and go. Do not attempt to trick or treat at a home without the lights on. Please respect their reason not to participate. And of course, if you're not feeling well, please stay home and do not pass out treats. We're just going to go over some of the safety concerns and safety instructions that we'd like to share with our residents here in town.
Halloween will be on Saturday, October 31st from 6 to 8 p.m. What makes Halloween special is that it's dark out. We expect that kids will be out there having fun and a good time. Unfortunately, there'll also be cars on the road. We ask residents if you could not drive between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m., that would be awesome. We understand that this is not a reality at all times, so if you are in the neighborhoods, please drive as slow as possible. There will be thousands of kids out, and several officers will be patrolling each neighborhood, assuring that everyone is being safe as possible. One of the first things that we ask is that kids utilize the sidewalk or the side of the street at all times. When going from house to house, look for those lit driveways, the lit walkways, and please do not cut across the front lawn. It's often dark. Sometimes there's candles out there. Sometimes there's holes, potholes that we do not see. We do not want to become a tripping hazard. We'll talk a little bit about costumes. If your costume has a mask on it, please remove the costume mask while walking from home to home. Once again, when you go to that house, you can drop the costume mask back down to trick or treat, but it's going to affect your visual perception and layout of the road. We don't want people tripping. Also, if you have any long props with your costume, to either carry them or lift it up while walking, because it can become an additional tripping hazard. If your costume is too long, please have your parents either sew it up or tuck it into your socks for safety. We also want to encourage trick-or-treaters to stay with their parents at all times. And if you do get lost, stay at the last house you're at. That way your parents can locate you that much easier. We also want to encourage trick-or-treaters to try to bring out flashlights, glow sticks, or reflective clothing when you go out. That way it's easier to stick with your family. Naturally, when the kids do get their candy, they're going to want to try to eat it. Try to refrain from that and wait till your parents can inspect or sanitize it until they feel it is safe to ensure it is safe to eat. So our message is basically we want everybody to have fun and be safe. We'll be out there as well enjoying the evening with you and ensuring that safety is a top priority. This is a message from your local Acton Police Department. Thank you.